Hello, the game has started and it's my opponent to go first. This is my opening rack. Pretty balanced. And I'm looking at potential compound words. I have the land component of a word. Opponent has exchanged, so he's obviously close to a bingo. Not seeing a bingo with these 7. I also have the down component. Lag down, down lag, no. So, what to do? Wonga. 26. Not a bad pickup. A little bit clunky with the DV and L. Travelled through an E. I don't think there's a 7 here. Opponent does provide an E and bingos. Travelled for 98. Decent pickup. Hearsay, not quite. Heresy. I have the IER ending. Seems to be an issue with my trackpad a little bit. Is there a 7? Not seeing a 7, but it looks very close. Wondering if there's a word ending in ERS or Yashia. No, rashiest. I don't see an IEST ending word either. Hairiest. Wow, this looks really close. Okay, opponent does bingo again and takes the lead. Wondering if there's a V play that ends in Y. And my H does play here at F6 quite nicely. Do have Harry here for 41 with a pretty healthy rack leave. Tempted to play that. Yeah, for 37. think I will play Harry here for 41, even though it does give back some score to opponent. Not bad. CK has some synergy. What about Snackery? Unlikely to remain available. Snackery for 79. Assuming opponent takes the bottom lane out, killing the R hook, the R floater, what other options do I have? I have Yak on the rack, and I'm also aware of this V for potential plays across to this triple word square. Carkey, but I'd be playing Snackery. I'm almost sure Snackery is fine, but not 100%. What about this hotspot here? Cakey. Wow, this would score quite nicely too. 43 points. 2/3 of a bingo. Worth considering. Implete would take an S, so what about an E? Yep, opponent takes out my Snackery play. Allaying, slaying, but 2-letter extension. Not sure there is one with this rack. So, is there definitely no bingo here? Wondering about a 5-letter play ending KI or KI something. I think Cakey looks pretty decent for 43. Not great. Draw just the one vowel from 5 tiles, but unfortunate. Scanning the board for X hotspots. There is OX here, but a terrible rack leave. 39, not to be sneezed at. Prob is good. Bop is also good. Bops as well for 43. That's not terrible. Opponent likely to play in column A, so I'll be looking elsewhere. Yes, he plays in the spot I was going to play, so scores quite well, 45 points, and takes the lead. So I'm limited now with where I can play because of the limited flexibility that this rack offers. Bop underneath implete, half decent for 24, provided I draw some vowels. What about a play from H1 down? I am tempted to play ox and just pray for vowels. It's a decent score, doesn't give back much to opponent. $39 points, wow, I think I'm going to go with this. I do draw one vowel, which I'm thankful for. And there's an O to play through as well. Bruv. Okay, scores are more or less level. I do have an extra S to work with here. Crisp, that's the play. For 27. What about cribs? That's better. SPN better than SBN. Not bad. No pails, which plays underneath impletes and at the end of impletes. So I will be bingoing. Opponent plays Dewey. The I doesn't really assist unless I was ending the bingo with an I. No pails for 72. Oh, AMS, of course, is no good. So it plays here, no pails. Not bad. I've drawn a fairly balanced rack. Matinade, no. Mandate, which takes a D. Mandate plays above the L. I have the man component of a word as well, so wondering about this I to take it out as a floater for opponent. Dementia, no. I'd need two E's for that. I have the anti-prefix. Opponent plays off a few vowels and doesn't provide a spot for mandate. Is there an anagram of mandate? I think there is, just can't see it. Pem is no good. So, what about mandate at the bottom here? Gives back score to opponent. He could take out access to both of them with a parallel play underneath mandate. 2 blanks to come, so I don't think blocking the eye is necessarily an advantage, because there are 2 available bingo lanes which are both easy enough to utilize, 3 actually. So mandate for 68. I don't draw a blank, so I have to assume that opponent has one of them, if not both of them, especially after this play and his rack replenishment. But you never know. So what to do with a Q? Based on my opponent's next move, I will... Okay, so he does bingo, and he might well bingo again. This is the problem. I can't do much down the bottom here. Or can I? Gin, D-J-I-N, doesn't really work. I need something ending in a vowel. And the QI, well, if I take out the QI here, then opponent's not bingoing in the right. He'd have to bingo underneath. I'm going with, wait a minute, 6 consonants, 6 vowels. So I might play chin over here just to get rid of an extra consonant for 12. Okay, I've got to assume opponent's got that second blank. Could bingo through DE, but I'll be looking to close down the bottom left of the board. I think that was the right move, dumping the Q and taking out the most useful floater for bingos. I do have a bingo lead, but if opponent bingos now, then he would likely win the game, as he'd quite possibly go out in 2 moves, bingo and then a 4-tile play somewhere. Still quite an open board for getting rid of tiles by way of endgame options. Now, H1 down, anything through the XI, that would be a good score. Dixit doesn't quite reach. Do it. 29. Will opponent create an opening by playing above the S, just 1 tile, for example, an O, and then he's got that spot to bingo across with? Or you could play O here, OXO and OE. There's a lot of hooks for OE. So, he has done what I thought he would do. Now, nefarious. No, it's a bit long. I don't think it'll be that easy to bingo in the bottom left, so my focus should be in the top here. So goji berries would be quite a useful play. Do I play goji? That obviously takes out the bingo potential, and it'll be trickier to bingo bottom left, although not impossible. Well, I have to do this because there's going to be a lot of bingos that play above GOS by placing an E at J2. I'm going with goji. Wow. Aranaus. Oh, there's going to be so many bingos. I'll be surprised if opponent doesn't find one that plays underneath mandate. Has to be two vowels, so O-E-S or O-E-S. Aranaus doesn't quite work. Or ending in R-O-E or R-U-E. Opponent has ditched the bingo search. Now I've got wifed bottom left for 47. And opponent should go out with these 5. Users, yeah, thought he would. So, final score 492 to 407. Thank my opponent for the game. Let's see what we missed. Back to the beginning. And opponent exchanged. I went, there was a bingo. Gowland. It's only vaguely familiar. And obviously playable in a few different spots. Gowland. And I did put the land component of the word together thinking, well, I just didn't know the word, I guess. So Wonga for 26 looks fine as a second best to the bingo. Then opponent's got the bingo to play in 2 spots. Implete. Now travelled for 98 was the top play there. Echoist for 102. Wow. Where was that? Yep, 4-timer. That would have been a big score. Opponent does still bingo for 76. And hay rides. Now that is a word I know. So I should have spotted that. That's a shame. Hay rides for 88. Went with Harry for 41. Now, opponent's got a decent rack here. Outlawing. Wow. Through the T and W. Disconnected floaters. Outlawing. Tricky to spot. Opponent went with laying. Now no playable bingo, but look at Yankee for 54. There was a K play that I was looking for there, and I played the next best available, which was Keiki for 43. Opponent's got cuboid. That's quite nice. Goes with Zo for 45. And now Ox for 39, but Box. Ah, yes, of course. That's a bit remiss of me to have missed that one. Anyway. Vizard for 46. Opponent had a strong play there. But look at the rack leave. Goes with Brav. Splaying, of course, there was a extension. But I did spot Cribs for 27, but Splaying clearly better because of the score. 15 extra points. Cribs takes out the trip lane, but it doesn't bridge the gap in terms of equity. Opponent's got a bit of a awful rack apart from the blank. Goes with Dewey. And then no pails for 67. Opalines through the eye, face value pretty much, but yeah, no pails. Now opponent's got the makings of a great bingo-y rack, but the eye not a great floater, and neither was the O. Opponent needed consonants to play through, and there would be quite a few 5-vowel 8s with the right consonant floater and these tiles. Opponent goes with AUE, and then mandate. Animated was the other one through the eye, so maybe, but mandate scored better. And now look at this. Opponent's got a host of bingos to choose from. Trophies for 76. American spelling, perhaps, yeah. And now dioxin through the XI. My chemistry knowledge failing me. Dioxin. I think it's something to do with chemistry. Let's just go back there. I went with, I wanted to get rid of the Q because I recognized the danger in the remaining tiles, and this I was just, well, the D would have provided a floater as well, so I don't like dioxin even with that score. It's gifting opponent too easy chances at bingoing, although it is a big score, so it's a tricky one too. And look at that, opponent certainly bingoing from the D. So yeah, look, chin, opponent can't bingo, so yeah, I'm happy with chin. Did have relaying, keeping, now 44 wouldn't have given opponent enough to, well, potentially, because no, I think opponent did need to bingo because there were some heavyweights to score with as well. So I think opponent did the right thing by creating the opening there. And Goji, yeah, Zhao just didn't address the bingo out option. Well, not out, he would have picked up 2 tiles, but could quite easily have won if I'd played Zhao, so I'm still happy with Goji. And now no playable bingos from this position. So it was very close. Just that ND kind of made it hard for opponent to find the right sequence of letters, and also limited flexibility as to where the letters could be placed outside of that issue. So yeah, relaying was the most he could manage. Went with on, and then wifed was the best for 47. Relaying still coming up as best there. And opponent goes out with users. So that was the end of the game. Hope you enjoyed watching that one, and I will see you next time.